You know each other?
Konradt and I did some research together.
Ruben, it was a little more than that. I was his oracle, his Pythia.
Oracle means a priest or priestess acting as a medium through whom advice or prophecy was sought from the gods in classical antiquity, while Pythia was the title of the high priestess of the temple of Apollo at Delphi. This video is special, so I will call this key couple by their names Ruben and Lola instead of the usual Reed and Konradt name. This will make the video feel more personal and direct to them rather than using their family name. The first clip shows Ruben admitting that he was doing research with Lola. However, his hesitation indicates that the work they did was a secret. Lola then adds that she was like his oracle, and she mentions the title of a priestess, Pythia. Synopsis. I don't have to remind you that Lola is a character who talks in riddles, but she never actually proved to make up or lied about what she said. If she said she feels like she was Ruben's Pythia, then she was. Pythia was the title of a high priestess, a priestess acting as a medium through whom advice or prophecy was sought from the gods. So, if what they're talking about is the Autophage, then that means Ruben and Lola were working on the Autophage. Ruben contributed to the problem finding, and Lola contributed to the problem solving. They have done their research on the Autophage together, but after they found the possible hive mind, they were parting ways because they have slightly different opinions on the final act for the Autophage. Ruben is seeking a cure, essentially trying to neutralize the Autophage to return to normal human state, but Lola wants to accept the Autophage change, pushing it further as the next step of humanity with Autophage powers. With that said, this means if you manage to watch this video till the end, you'll understand the whole lore of the Autophage across multiple titles that supports this lore. Now, let's break down their story, starting from the day Ruben found the Autophage. Segment 1. The Autophage Discoveries and Eschaton Establishment. Ruben discovered that human DNA is organized in a manner that can suddenly alter its structure after several generations, reaching what he termed a zero clock state. This transformation in DNA discards the characteristics of a eukaryotic multicellular organism and instead adopts a virus-like nanoid whose sole purpose is to self-destruct. The outcome is that it effectively kills the individual, turning them into an aggressive reanimated corpse that served as a carrier for the altered DNA. He later named this phenomenon autophage due to its similarity to autophagy, which is the natural process of cellular degradation that eliminates unnecessary or malfunctioning components through a regulated lysosome-dependent mechanism, facilitating the systematic breakdown and recycling of cellular material. Refer to my autophage videos for more details. Aware of how crucial this finding is, Ruben founded Eschaton. The purpose of Eschaton is to research autophage and carry out their more dubious operation by employing a by any and all means necessary mindset. To achieve this, Eschaton needs to conduct covert and paramilitary operations similar to real-world CIA divisions like SAD. If you have ever heard the terms insider, double agents or triple agents, etc., it means that this organization has secret members who also work in multiple government organizations and other authorities across the globe. For example, Ruben himself is a CDC operative while also being an Eschaton agent. Segment 2. The collaboration with Konradt Realities. not only aiming for the government or public organizations, as long as they can be used to help the purpose of researching the Autophage. Eschaton can and will work with them. In this case, Ruben cannot ignore the infamous tech company as big as Konradt Realities, which is respectfully known as the innovator of biotechnology. It has been proven effective and revolutionary, as Lola first introduced herself as the first human to be implanted with brain implants. With these implants, she demonstrates how she can command tasks as simple as turning on lights or opening doors by only thinking about it. But of course, it is only for public consumption, as in the background, these devices work further than just turning on a lamp switch. After being asked to collaborate, Lola found this Autophage somewhat aligned with her purpose because she is also developing biotechnology. Moreover, if humans were actually on the brink of extinction, as Ruben showed, she also needs to act fast because her biotechnology project will be useless if humans simply go extinct. She also has her AI, Constantine, that can help support Ruben's research if he allows the AI to access his profound Autophage database. Ruben and Lola make a great duo for researching the Autophage, with Ruben's clinical expertise and Lola's technological expertise. They work together so often, day by day, that Tisha has grown up calling Lola Auntie because of how familiar she is with her father.
Auntie Lola?
Ruben is researching with Lola with the help of her AI to speed up their research.
I am Constantine. I am an artificial intelligence.
During their research, Ruben discovers that Hewitt-Kahn Enzyme Accelerator (HKEA) can jumpstart the Autophage, but Lola also finds the element orgonite, which can also jumpstart the Autophage with the right tuning. Ruben goes to Narapela with HKEA for testing, while Lola goes with HAUS and the orgon field. Segment 3. Narapela. With the power of Eschaton's covetousness, Ruben infiltrates Geofarm through its corrupt CEO son, Emerald Crown, and eventually takes over Geofarm as a whole. Refer to my Charon video for more details. Long story short, Narapela's island destruction results in the creation of the base pathogen HK virus from mutating the initial HKEA, while also finding a possible immunity. The O-negative blood is the initial requirement for the immune individuals. Without further ado, Ruben mobilized the consortium, Palm Garden Order, and Geofarm to begin researching the HK virus as a method of jump-starting the Autophage, albeit within a relatively small population and under somewhat controlled circumstances, as a means to ultimately discover the mutagen and a cure. However, the Palm Garden Order seems to have another motive, seeing this virus and cure ideas as a perfect way to profit by selling it as a bioweapon. The consortium is surprisingly leaning towards agreeing with Palm Garden's idea on profit. However, the consortium still considers their mandates from Eschaton as their main goals, with the bioweapon being a side note. So, they choose to work with the best individuals they find to make these massive plans work, despite being aware of the potential human life sacrifices they might cause. Segment 4. Banoi.
Somebody's having a bad day.
The consortium has connections to the infamous hotel in Banoi, Royal Palms Resort, which often became a hub for criminal activities. The hotel was isolated, and the CEO Kenneth Ballard had connections to multiple government institutions, including the police and army. This allowed him to escape any consequences for any wrongdoing that occurred within the resort. The consortium then devised a plan to attract a select group of individuals to the Banoi island. They used their vast resources to scan global blood records and even organized a multinational blood drive under different banners and initiatives. This was done to deceive individuals like Logan, who was promoting the blood drive, and to expand their search for suitable candidates.
That's why they wanted me to promote their blood drive here. That's why they fucking flew me, first class, halfway around the goddamn world. Because my name still means something.
Once identified, these individuals were invited to the resort on the island through various means of communication. A total of 9 such individuals were ultimately found and selected, not only for their blood type but also because of their vigorously resistant immune system and fitting the required demographic survival profile, namely being young, healthy, and physically fit, which increased the likelihood of them being able to fight against the infected and follow the breadcrumb trail that would be laid out by the consortium and their agents to lead them to their labs. The select immunes were lured to the island via invitation to the resort for a 2-week vacation free of charge, claiming they were entered into a random drawing for the free vacation when they participated in the blood drive. As an infamous hacker who is willing to work with anyone as long as he gets paid what he thinks is fair, Charon was commissioned to lure the immunes to Geopharm's secret lab to meet another consortium personnel inside Geopharm, Robert West. The intention is to extract their blood, test it with mutagen, and finally create a cure. If you don't know yet about mutagen, in that island, mutagen is basically a modified base virus but stronger, used to test the immune's immunity. The idea is, if the mutagen is tested on the immunes and the immune still retains immunity, there is a need to create a stronger mutagen until the immune loses their immunity. This is to measure how the cure can be created and how far the dosage can be used. Charon's job was that simple, but he had personal ulterior motives. Instead of commanding West to create a potent mutagen and the cure, he asked him to create only the strongest mutagen that West could create.
I have it, just as you asked for it. The effects should be powerful and immediate, but it'll only work on the healthy or those in the first stage.
A supervirus derived from a mummy. I'll call it the Pharaoh's curse.
No, not from a mummy. From her. I examined her blood and found the pathogen in its pristine form. She's the source of the plague. A walking time bomb.
I don't know how or
Why or where it came from, but I want to study it. Maybe I can create some kind of vaccine.
No, West, your role is finished. Send them to me along with the virus and the girl.
You can have your virus.
But the girl stays with me. I need more of her blood. I know I can solve this. I know I can. I just need more time.
West?
Don't be afraid.
What are you doing?
I just
Need a little
West?
more blood. If we can make a vaccine, we can save your people. Save the island.
No! No more blood!
I'll give you something to relax you.
No!
Open it. I won't hurt you. Open it. Open it!
I'll open it myself.
can you hear me? There's a problem in the laboratory. I'm hearing screams. Drop what you're doing and go. Go! God damn it, go! We could lose everything.
Were you talking to someone?
What do you mean?
Don't play games with me, Charon.
Calm down, Colonel. We have a deal, and I'll help you as promised.
From there, the immunes were tricked into believing that they were bringing a cure to Ryder. As a result, the fake cure turned Ryder into the strongest mutation on the entire Banoi island. However, the consortium did not see this as a failure. Instead, they saw the potential for other bioweapon variants. They commanded Charon and the rest of the captured immunes to return to a floating military base under the command of Sam Hardy, named HMAS Avenger. Another consortium operative, Frank Servo, was prepared to conduct the second test on the nearby island, Palanai, within the Banoi archipelago. They used the stronger mutagen they had created for this purpose. To avoid confusion, we will refer to this enhanced virus as pathogen HK level 2, based on the virus used to initiate the infection on Palanai Island. Not to mention Yerema as an asymptomatic carrier of the tribe serving as patient 0. Yerema was initially supposed to be the person who could be harvested to create a cure, similar to Tisha. However, she was injected with a stronger virus, pathogen HK level 2, instead. So, when she beat a soldier from HMAS Avenger who was restraining her, the infection began to spread inside the ship. Segment 5. Palanai. The ship turned into chaos. Serpo escaped with the helicopter to an unknown location, while the immunes washed up on the beach, helped by WHO operatives. Harlow suggested that the immunes immediately move to her camp. From there, she also escorted Sam Hardy, who led him and the immunes to clash. Logan ridiculed him.
You knew this, yet you did nothing to stop them.
I'm a soldier. I follow orders.
Well, soldier, here's an order for you. Go fuck yourself.
While Sam B kisses him with the palm of his hand in the face.
Oh, thank God you survived.
Yeah, now I owe you something, motherfucker.
Get up, you son of a bitch.
Whoa,
I owe you
whoa.
something too.
But Hardy wasn't kidding about his loyalty to his duties, as he still followed Serpo's command to lure the immune back by falsely claiming that the island was about to be nuclear bombed. So they all tried to escape the island to find a boat, but it was all gone. Then Hardy suggested that they go to the town of Henderson to meet his military friend for sending a chopper or something similar. Long story short, they managed to get the town, but Harlow was missing.
Is Harlow here?
I thought she was with you. Who saw her last?
I thought we ran like crazy. I thought she was with us.
Fuck! You left her behind, just like you'd leave us all.
Jesus Christ, woman, get a grip.
Or what? You gonna hit her? Chima is right. All you immunes are getting a little crazy.
Crazy how?
What the hell are you saying?
You don't trust us now? Well, maybe. We don't fucking trust you.
Everybody, just calm down.
It's the chemicals, the mutagens. Look at them. They can barely control themselves.
Come on, people. We've gone too far to give up now.
They kept moving forward to find Hardy's friend's military base, but it was already overrun by zombies. However, the communication devices were still intact. Without wasting time, the immunes communicated with it and found Serpo instead, indicating that even the military was also controlled by the consortium to support the research. This explains why the military was so cruel, ignoring people asking for help, as described by the cinema owner, Jacqueline.
This base is our only chance for rescue. We must get in there.
I wouldn't. The military abandoned this town and everyone in it. They locked themselves in that base. Anyone who approached, anyone seeking shelter, was shot. After a while, people stopped trying.
Bloody heroes, eh?
Jesus.
At the same time as communicating with Serpo, In the background, we see Harlow sneaking into the main lab in the town and getting captured. Serpo commands not to let her get away.
Hold on a second.
What? Harlow? Are you positive? Okay, get her. Do it. Just don't let her get away.
Sorry about that.
Eventually, after communicating with Serpo to send a chopper for help, Serpo reveals that Hardy's mention of the nuke is a lie.
Did Hardy tell you that? Because if he did, that's bullshit.
So everyone's lying? Is that right?
However, Serpo is still going to send a chopper to pick up the immunes.
Time's running short. I'm sending you a chopper. What's your location?
The immunes go back to the cinema to confront Hardy, but his reason for lying was that he believed that without the immunes alongside him, Serpo wouldn't bother to send a chopper.
I'm not trying to make fucking friends, right? I'm trying to get us off this damn island, all of us. And the simple fact is that when Serpo gets here, he's not going to rescue these people. He only wants you. And I'll be damned if I let everyone else die, understand?
Hardy proved his point when Serpo killed him while trying to get to the chopper instead of letting the immunes climb first. Out of nowhere, Logan pulled out a bazooka and shot the chopper tail. The helicopter crashed and managed to make an emergency landing at the nearby old fort before it exploded. The immunes ran after Serpo only to find him hiding on top of the fort. He didn't say anything but lies about Harlow's capture, claiming that Harlow is stealing the cure to sell it for profit. Turns out she was also an immune individual captured and tested with the stronger mutagen of the base Palanai virus, which we will temporarily name pathogen HK level 3 to avoid confusion.
They caught me when I tried to sneak in here. They tested the mutagen on me, not knowing what it would do. They didn't know I was immune like you. Look what it turned me into. I killed them all.
As Harlow demonstrated with this new mutagen, if immunes use it excessively, they will turn into undefeatable beasts, which leads the immunes to forcefully use this new mutagen to fight back. This is how the Riptide ends, with the cliffhanger of how the immune escapes and the consortium's idea fails to create a viable cure, instead further enhancing the base pathogen HK virus from the Narapela into 3 times more dangerous. This failed project of Banoi's results have been received by Ruben, and he has begun the command to clear the island and ensure that every piece of evidence is eradicated so he can continue his research without anyone suspecting or hindering him. The main event he mostly focused on is Jerema's figure. He believes that if he were to create another outbreak, he would require an asymptomatic carrier and patient zero, both of which were already eradicated in Banoi. Therefore, he does not have any viable option except to modify his own unborn child to become one. Segment 6. HAUS. On the other hand, unlike Ruben, who has the privilege of being part of a global conspiracy group, Lola works in her own private way. HAUS, on the surface, looks like a classic 60s era modernist mansion set amidst acres of prime clifftop real estate on the Malibu coast. Below the surface, it is a specialized research and development campus that prepares a digital safe house for people who are willing to be killed while maintaining their consciousness in order to be digitally served in preparation for the upcoming zombie apocalypse. It focuses on brain technology, the organ field, and related autophage, and functions as the infrastructure for the Ark. Testing and filtering candidates for ascension into the Ark is also one of the main functions of HAUS. Lola founded this secret division of brain technology under the umbrella of Konradt Realities. Its potential member is allured with a magic envelope embodied as a mind control invitation to move the victim to its secret site. From the interview of some family member that has lost its housewife, indicates how helpless they are to get the wife back to them. There are no ways for them to go to the authorities, as the evidence does not have enough support to blame household, and mostly only leads the court as the victims were not victims as they go to the site by themselves without any force. The police claim there is no evidence that any crimes have been committed. Yoni Kaplan, a Dead Island 2's fictional freelance reporter article, reveals about their investigation on the family of Mrs. Farah Sharik, who went AWOL for a month at the time of the investigation. Farah's family was bewildered by her sudden change in behavior. She had given no sign that she was unhappy, and yet within days she had quit her position as an orthopedic surgeon and sold her apartment in Pacific Palisades, kicking her fiance of 6 years, Dennis Merton, onto the street. Dennis thought they were forever, but she just dumped him with hardly an explanation. Dennis was angry and said he wanted custody of their cat, Mathilda, and Farah just said Dennis could have her, just like that. Farah literally said they're no longer important to her. The reporter tried to drive Dennis to the house entrance. They tried to knock on the door, but no one answered, and the doorbell bot told them to go away. But Dennis is not satisfied, so he waits outside for an hour. Dennis shouted desperately through the perimeter railings as Farah emerged from the main door, alone, waved, and raised a phone to her ear. Dennis' phone rang, and he answered, putting it on speaker to hear Farah's ultimatum directly.
Dennis, darling, please move on. I have. You are embarrassing yourself. My eyes have been opened, and my work here is important, more than you could imagine. I'm sorry if this hurts. That is not my intent.
As the investigation continues, Dennis' desperation repeats itself. With loved ones and families sharing similar stories, friends, children, husbands, and wives have all been swallowed by an enigma called HAUS. For more details on how the victims have said they've opened their eyes, refer to my HAUS analysis video. Now, let's go back to the ground. The main purpose of HAUS is to test Lola's finding of orgone material that can also trigger the autophage clock, like the HKEA from Ruben, which she built as the orgone field. This infrastructure would also work as a ground satellite after she found out about her immunity to this orgonite but not to others. So, in order to save the non-immunes, she tests and filters candidates for ascension into the Ark by challenging them through multiple rites of passage designed by Konstantinos Josens. The Ark works by digitizing the victim's consciousness while preserving their bodies with a solvent that actively preserves their body with the latex suit as the container. Eventually, their bodies are fully pressed into storage as the nest for their dead bodies after being digitally uploaded to the orgone field satellite to preserve humanity by repurposing the bodies after the outbreak is over. The bodies will be reused by people. We can see Vincent and Veronique's QV head and body connection as an early sample of the possible resurrection. After Lola discovers her immunity and finds a way to establish a telepathic connection, Lola reports her immunity to Ruben. As a result, Ruben classifies Lola as a rare immunity, which he calls Newman, and the hive mind is what facilitates Lola's telepathic ability.
We are rare, precious.
What do you mean? What are we?
We are. Well, Ruben Reuben calls us Newman. We are the endpoint. Humanity distilled. I'm sorry. I had to push you hard.
What is intriguing is that the hive mind has certain frequencies that allow the telepathic connection, meaning that Lola can communicate with other humans in the same frequency. Long story short, the result of HAUS include the Arc of Ascension, which technologically safeguards human minds and becomes the digital replica of the Autophage hive minds. It explores a possible ascended communication within the organ field, which operates similarly to telepathy, allowing for a direct connection to other humans without the need for any devices. The organ field serves as a ground satellite for both non-hybrid communication and hybrid telepathic connection.
Only their bodies die. Their minds are with me in the Ark to preserve humanity. I will let them tell you.
Hello? We've been watching. You make this look easy. Oh, my name is Hope, by the way.
Importantly, Newman possess a natural telepathic connection, while the Ark technologically replicates this connection for non-humans. These two telepathic servers can be intersected with the brain implant to enable non-humans to communicate with humans. Consequently, Constantine needs to implant this brick in Slayers as well, using the white liquid from HAUS. To illustrate, the natural human telepathic connection can be likened to a private link, whereas the Ark functions as a public link. Segment 7. The Aftermath of Banoi, Palanai, and HAUS. Reuben found that Banoi's pathogen HK is only activates autophage prematurely. Therefore, for the next outbreak, he needs to perfect pathogen HK with the help of its latest and strongest version, temporarily named pathogen HK level 3, which Harlow used from Palanai. He forges the virus and increases its level of danger. Essentially, he intends to ensure that even the last missing immune individuals would not be able to retain their immunity and seek better immunes, ultimately finding the true immune individual, humans. Reuben calls this new base virus as HK1. To avoid confusion, we can also temporarily name this HK1 virus as pathogen HK level 4. Doesn't want to be left behind by Reuben, Lola is also perfecting her autophage trigger after finding the right tuning from HAUS. The organ ball with the psychosonic mood speakers. However, in the actual application, it basically just amplifies the fine-tuned organ radiation to trigger people's autophage. However, after the discovery of this hive mind, they go their separate ways because Lola wants to embrace the infection as the next step of humanity with great powers, while Reuben wants to use Newman to create a neutralizer. That's why Lola said there is no cure, because it only reverts the autophage effect back to that of a normal human, and moreover, autophage is not a plague.
Only Newman, like us, can carry humanity through it.
The plague. You're working with Reuben to make a cure.
There is no plague. Reuben, he was a good man once, but now he is blinded by desperation. He's not making a cure.
What?
He's not making a cure because he can't. No one can. Humans, the autophage, Newman. It's an immense life cycle.
These separate ways are: as Tisha grows older, Reuben initiates another outbreak. However, Instead of starting it on some random island without his direct oversight, fearing that other organizations may alter his intention as what happened in Banoi, Ruben releases the HK-1 in LA. This is because the Newman rarity scale aligns with the high population in LA, increasing the chances of finding Newmans. Additionally, he can directly supervise the situation. Ruben also utilized the sewers to dispose of the dissolved autophage biomass, intentionally creating a simulation of the autophage hive mind in order to find the perfect Newman and develop a cure with Tisha. Meanwhile, Lola takes advantages of the SoLA festival to also search for perfect Newmans and simulate the hive mind by sacrificing 30,000 people at the SoLA stage. With these distinct objectives, they have agreed not to interfere with each other's current and future plans. Segment 8. Los Angeles. Ruben finds Noah as the HK-1 spread. Prior to becoming a mutator, Noah was immune to the base HK-1 virus and volunteered to help Dr. Ruben Reed find a cure with his immunity.
Hey, I'm Dr. Reed, but you can call me Ruben. Noah, they told me there's something in my blood that... Yeah, shh. Let's keep your specialness just between us for now, okay? Okay, sure. But it's about a cure? If our preliminary results are right, then you have a miracle in your blood. Now that we've found you, humanity stands a chance. Cool. So, what happens to me? You just take some blood, or... We need to get you to our lab on Ocean Avenue. We have the equipment there, and answers to all your questions, I promise. Okay, you're the doctor.
After heinous experiments, Noah lost his immunity, failing the rebirth process in becoming a true Newman, and instead becoming a mutator. Now, let's go back to how the Banoi process of creating a cure, collecting the immunes and then exposing them with the mutagen, aka the stronger version of the base virus, over and over until the immune individual lost its immunity to measure the viable cure dosage. Back to the base virus for LA HK-1. Now we can call the newer virus tested for Noah as HK-1 level 2. Or to avoid confusion, we can use the name pathogen HK level 5 instead to remember the ranks of the virus from the very beginning of the lore back in Narapela. It is said that Noah failed to be reborn as Newmans. Now, we can also understand how Sambi is losing his immunity despite being beaten only once while helping Ronnie, which indicates that he was only exposed to the base virus. In some Reddit developer Emma, Damebuster claimed that Sambi is immune but does not yet have all the necessary ingredients to become Newmans like Noah. So, if we remember the temporary names of the virus levels, Sambi can only suppress the infection to the base LA virus, pathogen HK level 4. But Noah can suppress the infection to the newer version of the mutagen, pathogen HK level 5. This indicates that if Sambi were not cured by Ruben's cure, he would also turn into a mutator like Noah. To recall the temporary virus naming, the Narapela base virus HKEA turned into pathogen HK. In Banoi, West created a stronger virus which turned a rider into a mutator. We call it pathogen HK level 2, and it also became the base virus for Palanai. Later on, we also refer to the stronger virus tested on Harlow as pathogen HK level 3, and that's where the immunes like Sambi stop being tested, as the outbreak never happens again in the next decade in Los Angeles. Ruben enhances it further, calling it HK-1, which we refer to as pathogen HK level 4, and Sambi succumbs to this version. And lastly, the mutagen, which referred to as HQ1 level 2 or continue to use the name pathogen HQ level 5, causes Noah to lose to this newer one. However, after the Slayer is exposed to this pathogen HQ level 5, by defeating mutated Noah, Slayers almost lose their immunity, as portrayed by regaining consciousness while unconsciously eating the flesh of the dead body. This is similar to when Sambi was exposed to pathogen HQ level 3 while fighting Harlow. He also almost lost control over his immunity back then. Back to Lola's perspective after the outbreak started, Lola finds Slayers as she discovers that their telepathic frequencies are the same. This can also explain how she got her companions, Thurston and Cadenza. Maybe she meets them because they can communicate on same frequencies as well. Lola follows the frequencies and discovers that the Slayers are planning to escape through the introductory plane evacuation of Soaring Pacific 71 Heavy Flight. She sends 2 out of the 6 individuals chosen by Constantine from the HAUS facilities to connect the Slayers to the unfinished arc.
I brought you here. 2 were sent to a very specific time and place, and there they found you.
Hold the fuck on.
It was necessary to connect to your mind.
Additionally, she manipulates the minds of the Slayers through some shadows at the crash site. After Slayers managing to get through Emma's mansion, Lola uses a magical envelope to control the minds of the Slayers and guide them to the HAUS site. Eventually, they successfully save the unfinished arc and establish a ground satellite for further reach, known as SoLA, which is crucial for the Big Mouth Speaker to work. As Lola gladly saw that the Slayers had managed to finish the HAUS project, she wanted to show her appreciation to the Slayers by following them and then meeting them in the sewers.
Here you are. I've been looking for you.
What are... How? Do I know you?
Know me? More than you realize.
Okay.
However, she also found out that they would be helping Ruben instead. Slayers managed to meet Ruben first, and then, after Slayer is going to the Santa Monica Pier, Lola confronted Ruben about their promise not to interfere with each other.
Lola, you promised you wouldn't interfere.
No, Ruben, we promised that we wouldn't interfere. You've already galloped across that Rubicon.
She was talking about the Slayers. She believed that she had found them first. And because Lola is now certain that Ruben doesn't know anything about the Slayers and the fact that the Slayers themselves are looking for Ruben's help, she can't defend herself and is willing to leave. But now she also has the information that Ruben managed to collect the Slayer sample within the laptop that the Slayers had just brought. This even leads to Ruben, who initially convinces Slayer to have some rest, suddenly commanding them to find Tisha. This makes sense because she is the crucial ingredients to create a neutralizer, especially since he has now tested the Slayer's blood. After the Slayers find Tisha, instead of immediately reporting to Ruben, both the Slayers and Tisha have a secret plan to investigate Ruben. Tisha suggests that the Slayers go ask the OSK's AI, Constantine, who can answer any question similar to a smart home assistant. And this is the moment where the Slayers meet the mutated Noah and get exposed to the pathogen HK level 5. Being exposed to pathogen HQ level 5, Slayers almost lost their immunity, as evidenced by their regaining consciousness while involuntarily consuming the flesh of a deceased body and attempting to consume Tisha as well. She accompanies the Slayers, who promise to inform her of everything they discovered in the OSK store. However, when the Slayers attempt to harm her, she fights back by severing their various arteries with a crossbow bolt and then thrusting it deep into their hearts, delivering additional blows to ensure their demise. Fortunately, Lola, who also follows the Slayers, intervenes and rescues them, bringing them back to the realm of the living. Because of suspecting both Ruben and Lola, the Slayers engage in a battle against the mutated Noah and are subsequently defeated by Tisha. Lola saw your efforts, so she explains her motives and allows the Slayers to inquire about Ruben's motives as well.
Humans. The autophage. Newman. It's an immense life cycle. A survival mechanism spanning countless eons. And we are the Omega Point.
Get out of my head, okay? I'm not a part of this, I'm not.
Well, you are in deep denial. And you've had my 2 cents, so go and ask Ruben his. But whatever conclusion you come to, remember,
when Slayers tried to go back to the Sterling Hotel, Ruben was nowhere to be found as he and Tisha flew with the chopper that Slayers saw before entering the hotel. If you noticed the helicopter, it was not from CDC, instead it was Eschaton's property.
Whose bird is this anyway?
Some end-of-the-world bunch called Eschaton. Thought they wanted to help save humanity, but all they really wanted was my blood.
What?
Because after the Slayer tested their blood, Ruben reported to Eschaton and called a chopper to help him transport to his own lab, escorted by his daughter Tisha, without knowing that she was also one major ingredient for the neutralizer. Ruben doesn't want to repeat Noah's failure, so he goes without the Slayer's physical body and uses his body instead. The result of Ruben's work is finally creating a neutralizer proven by Sambi, but it cost him his life. But after the Slayers regroup with Sambi, Tisha has not been found, and at this moment, the mystery of what the actual purpose of the Autophage hive mind from sewers remains unknown. Segment 9. SoLA. In contrast, Lola is still alive, trying to find a way to mimic the Autophage functions digitally through the established telepathic connection. This reminds her of Cadenza's case. She prevented Cadenza from using big speaker to replace the small amplifier used on the main stage because, as Constantine measured it, it was too dangerous.
4 sounds, 4 nucleobases. G, T, C, A. I believe this is a code to switch the autophage on. The orgone spheres in the prototype speakers could only project so far. The huge speaker in the club has the power to be heard across the world.
To ensure that Cadenza cannot access the file, she was disconnected from the rest of the orgone field satellite and the Ark.
Cadenza's been bad and isn't allowed on the sofa.
Lola then splits the tune frequency sound file into 4 parts. She doesn't want to infect the whole world with this larger psychosonic speaker. We can temporarily name it as Psychosonic Level 2 because it is similar to the Pathogen HK series.
It's too dangerous, Cadenza. You can't have that sound file. Nobody can.
Oh, it's the key to what we are!
Cadenza!
However, unlike Lola, Konstantin actually doesn't care if the world is destroyed and humans turn into zombies, but he still respects Lola's decision as his creator. But he finds some gaps while Cadenza is trying to fight Lola's advice and insisting on making the Psychosonic Level 2 work by secretly going back to the SoLA's location and trying to recollect the split parts herself. But then Konstantin allures Slayers into helping Cadenza by posting Grace's broadcast, which can trick the Slayers into going to the SoLA location near Beverly Hills. There, the Slayers are tricked by Cadenza into collecting and gathering the 3 remaining parts, as she has only found 1 so far. Long story short, the Slayers manage to gather the rest of the parts and hand them to Cadenza.
Then why are you here?
You told me to come.
Don't think so.
Not this you. The 3 helpful yous, spread across the Discoverse. They sent me recordings of the beat.
Did we?
Look, this beat. It turns people, instantly. And it's still beating. So, do you have a plan to stop it or not?
Give me the recordings.
Oh, right. Here. Now how do we stop it?
We don't. I only had 1 part, but with yours I can piece it back together and complete the message.
On second thought, I'll be needing those back.
No. This beat speaks to me. To us. It's part of what we are becoming. I have to hear it all.
Spoiler, it sounds like people dying.
But not us. Don't you want to know what's inside you? Why you didn't turn like all the rest? This is the answer. You feel it too.
Could it turn people back? Reverse everything?
Only one way to find out. Combine the parts, understand the message. I'm gonna go get some help with this remix. I'll be in touch.
She then goes away to remix them. Sometime later, she communicates with the Slayers through natural Newman's telepathic frequencies, sending the remixed file and ordering the Slayers to send it to Konstantin.
Hey, I need you to do something for me.
Cadenza? Haven't I helped you enough?
We've recombined the beat. I just need you to go to the OSK store on Ocean Avenue and talk to Konstantin. He has the file.
And you're too busy, huh?
I hit an obstacle, so I'm adapting. Do this and we can finally get our answers.
Fine, but you owe me.
She mentioned something about her other work and asked the Slayers for a favor to send the file from the OSK store back on Ocean Avenue. Whereas she has actually been banned from the satellite, so she can't do anything with the file to make the big speaker work. Konstantin's ulterior motives of letting Cadenza have the file are especially visible here, as he let the Slayers send the files first before revealing what happens behind Cadenza's wallout.
Oh, that Egypt! Tell me you can unsend the file, Konstantin.
No. The transfer to Cadenza is complete.
Fuck! Did you do that on purpose? Where's she now?
Cadenza is located at SoLA, where you should be.
Yeah, thanks.
For more details, please refer to my SoLA explanation video. Sorry for the cliffhanger on SoLA, but it has gotten too long for this video, so I am Viras. Thanks for watching and I'll see you down the line.